Thank you all so much for being here. It's wonderful to see you all here today. We'd like to congratulate the new WFD President and also the Honorary President, Colin Allen and Joseph Murray. We'd like to acknowledge the government representatives, the board members of the World Federation of the Deaf, and various honorary members and ordinary members who are here today. And in advance, we'd like to acknowledge all the presenters that will speak to us throughout the Congress. My name is Lisa Kauppanen. I have been involved in the World Federation of the Deaf for many, many, many years. And the reason that we are up on here on stage today is in relation to a particular award which is offered by the World Federation of the Deaf, named in my honour, a Human Rights Award. And we are honoured today to be here to present that award.
Greetings to you all. My name is Julia Gigi. I'm a board member of WFD. Now this award, I'm actually the chair of this. It was established in 2006 in honour of Lisa Kauppanen, who has worked for such a long time with World Federation of the Deaf and for the community globally. Who is Lisa? He was the first and last president of World Federation for the Deaf, the first deaf woman. She was secretariat, and then following that was president. And she had achieved so much in that time as a member of the board. So it was from 1995 until 2003. There was a massive growth in membership. Worldwide, particularly the UN, actually honour and know the work that she's put in globally. We commend her. This Human Rights Award panel, we have 5 on the panel. I'm the convener. We also have Lisa here. And we have our ordinary members, one from Switzerland, Kenya, Chile. So this Human Rights Award, we actually have a criteria in place, and Lisa will explain.
The person that receives this award must meet certain criteria in order to be eligible. I'm sure you'd be interested to know what that criteria is that has been devised by the WFD board. The person who receives this award must demonstrate a huge level of commitment to the international deaf community and to supporting organisations throughout the world to achieving rights for deaf people. They must also have been actively involved in negotiating with governments, representing the rights of deaf people throughout the world. And they must also be heavily involved somehow in promoting the rights of deaf people through legislation, through policies, to encourage policies to be established. They must foster development throughout the deaf world. But first and foremost, this person who receives the award must have given their heart to our international deaf community. Often this means tirelessly giving up many, many hours, day and night, to work for the WFD or for the community. If you went to the Pentagon here and to the Pantheon here and saw the exhibition that talked about the silent history of deaf people here in France, we saw many examples of different signs that are used in French Sign Language, and this is one particular sign which demonstrates how someone can give their heart to this community, and I think this is a perfect sign to depict the person who's about to receive this award. As we know, there are many challenges that we face in the world. There are many natural disasters that we have seen throughout the world that have impacted on deaf communities. Whether it's through volcano bursts, through earthquakes, through tsunamis, through torrential rain, through floods. Many deaf people throughout the world have been affected by these natural disasters. Through civil wars, through bombing of countries, through armies invading countries. Deaf people have been affected in so many ways by these world events. So it's important for us all to think about how we can convey information, important emergency information, to deaf people throughout the world about natural disasters, emergencies, unsafe situations, so they can keep safe. So this is a humanitarian effort that we know that this next awardee has participated in. Another effort that we know this person's been involved in is lobbying for the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, along with lobbying for the rights of deaf people with respect to other conventions, whether it's rights of women, the rights of children. It's not just about disability rights, it's about human rights for everybody. And it's important for us all to recognise the importance of human rights for everybody. When we consider the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, for women, for children, all of these rights protect our needs as deaf sign language users. But ultimately, the most important thing for us is to recognise the human right of deaf people to have sign language as a recognised language in their own countries. We need to work with governments towards legislating for the recognition of natural sign languages. And we can do this in many ways. We can ensure that sign language interpreters are educated to high quality standards for professional practice. We can work to educate deaf children bilingually through sign language. We can work to educate families that have deaf children to use sign language with their family members. And through all of these efforts, we achieve accessibility and quality. Information can be provided in sign language through the media and other various forms. And this also means that we can convey the importance of sign language and deaf culture through art, performance, theatre, as we've seen on the stage here this evening. I've covered lots of points here. There's one more particular criteria that I think is very important, which is leadership. The next person to receive this award must have demonstrated leadership for the international deaf community. And this obviously is significant for us because there are many deaf communities throughout the world. And this doesn't mean that the person who receives the award is just involved on a local level through the national associations, but they have to visit schools, they have to support deaf sports, deaf culture. International deaf communities can be represented in many, many different ways. So a leader in the international deaf community has to be respected and involved in all of these different activities. Ultimately, we know there are many deaf leaders, effective deaf leaders throughout the world, working with the ordinary members, the deaf associations who are members of the World Federation of the Deaf. But an true international deaf leader works with all of the deaf associations, with the ordinary members for WFD to achieve what they need in those countries so that we can have that consistent achievement on an international level. When I was young, I was fortunate to be taught by other deaf leaders. And how we recognised that it was important that in order to achieve, you needed to be educated or led or mentored by a deaf leader, not a hearing leader, to become a deaf leader. So to be a good leader also means fostering leadership in others. We see now in our world that we have the advent of technology. We know there are many things that could enhance our lives but also be a threat to our lives. For example, avatars. Many people think they're going to solve all the communication problems for deaf people and produce sign language instantly through some kind of speech recognition systems. We see all of this technology being developed that can actually enhance the lives of deaf people, can assist deaf people to access university. So who could possibly meet all of this criteria to achieve the next Human Rights Award? Who do you think it is? Any ideas? Somebody suggested here that it's Colin Allen. How could they possibly know?
Who knows?
The panel considered various nominations, and I have to say that this person is right. Colin Allen, Honorary President of the World Federation of the Deaf. I am honoured, and I'm hoping I'm not using your name sign correctly, I am honoured to give you the Lisa Kapanen Human Rights Award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody.
Would you like to join us here on the stage, Colin? Maybe we could do the can-can here together. Thank you so much for your tireless work on behalf of the international deaf community. In person, as Lisa Kapanen, I would like to say I am so proud of the work that you've done and the heart that you have given to improving the quality of life for deaf sign language users throughout the world. Thank you so much for everything you have done.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
I would just like to explain this painting. Colin here, at the age of 13, was working tirelessly for the deaf community. He was in front, he was a leader, and he was visible to the deaf community. This artist is a deaf artist, and he's French. I'm not sure of the spelling, but it's a French deaf artist. And this is a gift to you to thank you for all your work over the years.
Do you accept the award, Colin? Because if you don't, maybe we could have a wrestling match on the stage.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I also want to thank the people who nominated me for this award. I'm really touched. I'm happy to have the opportunity, but I've gained this recognition from the world, from my work. I have worked for 40 years on a voluntary basis to support the deaf community through sign language. And I, of course, accept the award.
Thank you. Thank you for giving your heart to the community.
Thank you. My heart goes out to you all. Thank you so much. I love you.
What is that?
Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Abu Abu Man.